Are you struggling with timing? Do you start playing and suddenly you're all over the place? You just can't stick to the beat. Let's fix this right now with something I call the pendulum. But first, let's think of why this might be happening. You might be focusing on too many things at a time. Chords, chord changes, strumming patterns, lyrics, trying to follow a song, too many things. So the way to fix your timing is to boil it down to just timing. Okay? So if I throw a simple metronome, and I know you're cringing, metronome! Don't worry, it's just to illustrate. That you hear, those pulses are called beats, and a beats is just a unit in time. Okay, so from pulse 1 to pulse 2, that's the beat. And if we're playing at 60 beats per minute, 60 pulses, we have one beat every second. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the cool thing about guitar is that we can translate every one of those pulses into a down strum. Okay, so if I throw that metronome to you again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And you probably heard a lot of people tell you that you got to practice to the metronome, and they're right. But here's how to practice to a metronome in order for your efforts to really give you the results you want. Too many people I see are going 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at my arm. I'm trying to think when the next beat, the next pulse is going to come. And I like using my arm to tell me when that pulse is going to go. So if I throw that metronome again, you can see my arm is acting, is giving me the timing. And it really is, if I turn it this way, acting like a pendulum, okay? So I'm synchronizing my arm movement to the timing of the metronome. And right in the middle of the pendulum is where I strike my strings. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how I like to see it because it's a lot easier. Now I don't need to focus on where the beat has to come. My arm is giving me that movement, okay? Now, when practicing this, I recommend you doing two things. One, I already talked to you about, but I want to reinforce. We are only focusing on timing. No rhythm, no strumming patterns, no chords, no nothing. Just try to hit that pulse of the metronome right in the center. And you'll hear when it's off because you'll hear both things. Once you hit it dead center, bullseye, you won't be able to hear the metronome anymore, okay? That's number one. Number two is try doing this as slowly as possible. The slower the metronome, the more effective this exercise is. So if you do it for like 5 minutes, that's enough. If you do it for 5 minutes focused, you'll see it's hard, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you manage to get into it, then try and play the song you're trying to play, and it'll work magic, I guarantee. So 1, mute your guitar, don't play any chords, just do one thing, which is timing. Try to hit that dead center. 2, do it as slow as you can. I recommend 50. Painful, it's very painful, but the slower you do it, the better.